Hey guys, this is Neil. Welcome back to my channel. Since we are at the beginning of December, I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to paint baby penguins. I love how these turn out. It's really simple, easy, and you can also make your own alterations to suit your taste. To start off, as usual, I'm going to draw it out so you can understand the shapes. For the body, we're just going to do an oval, and for the head, a small circle. You can also alternate the oval to make it more circular too if you want the baby penguins to look more chubby and cute. When we're painting this, I like to usually start off with the body, then the head. So what you have to get used to is drawing an unfinished oval so the top of the oval does not cover the head. Technically, if you want the penguins to look like they have their tummy out so the head is behind the body, then you can paint a full oval with the head slightly hidden behind. The face is really simple. To show you clearly, I'm just going to draw out the face without the body. For the black part of the face, I'm just going to do an M shape from around half to 1/3 of the top of the head. The eyes, I'm just going to draw it out as small dots, and where the midpoint of the M is, we're going to do a carved diamond shape for the beak. You can also alternate the face by making small lines for the eyes, as if the penguin's sleepy, or if you do one dot and one line, the baby penguin will look like it's winking at you. And then to finish off the whole face, I'm going to do two small ovals for the cheeks, and I'm going to paint that pink later on for the blush. Now let's put all the features together. Let's start off with an oval for the body, then a small circle for the face with all the facial features. And to put it all together, we're going to paint the wings. For the wings, you can place them differently. I'm just going to do a standard pose for the first one. And for the next penguin, I'm going to raise one wing, like the penguin is saying hi. And then for the third one, I'm going to draw it out as if the penguin is touching its tummy. To finish it off, I'm going to also do two small ovals for the feet. I'm also going to draw out some penguins with their tummy out so you can see what I meant in the beginning of the video. Another thing you can do is accessorize the penguins. So as an example here, I'm just going to show you two alternatives. One with the penguin wearing a scarf and the other one with a beanie. If you have any other ideas you'd like to do with the stands, the pose, and the accessories, feel free to alternate them as you want. And if you would like to show me, you can tag me on Instagram at ig_nyanyani so I can take a look at what you guys create. These baby penguins are usually just gray and black in color, but let me show you how you can make a variety of grays to give each penguin their own character. I don't have Payne's gray in my palette, so to make the gray that would suit the penguins, I would have to mix ivory black and gray of gray, but I personally don't like the gray of gray because it has a lot of white in it. So if you're in the same boat as me, you can technically just use a bit of black with a lot of water to thin it out. And to add some hue to the black, you can actually pick any color you want. You don't need much at all, but this will give you so many varieties of different grays. So here I'm just going to show you a few of my favorite ones. The first one you can do is mix gray with a bit of purple. Here I have mineral violet and also cerulean blue. And as you can see, they're still considered as gray, but just with different hues to give it a nice richness and variation. Another color I like to mix is also ultramarine blue. I find that this one is the most subtle hue. So here are the three grays that I'm going to be using for the three penguins. By the way, you can also play around with the ratio. Obviously, if you put more black, the color would look more gray and neutral, and the more hue you mix into your paint, the more vibrant the color would be. And as I said, you can pick any hue you want, so go ahead and experiment with your own paintings. I'm going to use the black mix with some mineral violet for the first penguin. I always like to start from the body because I feel like the body is the biggest part of the penguin, and it would instantly give me a good idea of the height and proportion with the rest of the body parts. And after that, you can build it up as you wish. Of course, this is just my preferred way. There isn't really any right or wrong way. You just have to find whatever you're comfortable with. For the brush size, I'm using a size 2, but this is quite big for a size 2 compared to my other brushes. So it just really depends how big you want your penguins to be. I would suggest for you to use a bigger brush if you would like to draw a larger one, but you can also use a small brush if you want to paint a big one, but it'll just give it a different effect because it'll carry less water than a bigger brush. For the body of the penguin, I would actually prefer to do a wet on wet technique by doing a flat wash and then adding a thicker consistency paint and letting it travel across slowly to give it a nice transition. But if the area is already dry, like my first penguin here, you can still build up the same effect by painting the bottom and then cleaning and drying your brush, and then taking a bit of clean water so your brush is slightly damp. You can pull the paint that you initially place down. That little water in your brush will then mix into some of the paint, giving it a smoother transition. Now for the second one, because the body of the penguin is still a little bit damp, but it's not puddling, I can actually do the wet on wet technique now. So I'm just going to take more of the paint in a little bit more thicker consistency than what the base color is, and I'm going to put it down along the bottom. Because that area is still slightly damp, it's going to help the paint travel across and it's going to create a smoother transition. But if, however, you don't like how the paint has settled down, you can actually still move it while it's still wet, so you can still have quite a bit of control of the direction where you want your paint to go. For the cheek blush, you can use any rose or red color, and I'm going to mix it with a bit of white to create a nice pastel pink. Here I'm using Quinacridone Opera, but any shade of pink would be nice. For the third penguin, I'm going to paint one wearing a scarf. Because this scarf will go over the body, I'd prefer to paint the scarf first so I have a better visualization of where to avoid painting the area where the scarf is covering the body. Technically, it's better for you if you wait for the scarf to dry off before you paint the body, but I was being impatient, so I tried to just paint carefully around the scarf while it was still wet. You can also do this, but it means you would have to leave a thin white space in between the scarf and the body, or else it will bleed because the paint will start to travel and mingle with each other, like the neck area of my penguin. So just be mindful of that if you're also impatient like me. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching this and learned something new. This doodle would work really well as a pattern for an art display or for a Christmas card that would suit the season. So if you give this a go, don't forget to tag me. I'll leave all the details in the description below. Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye!